You will never lose the weight until you understand this one crucial fact. Welcome, my friends. Professor Vitalis here with your daily dose of wisdom and wellness, where science and experience walk hand in hand. Today, we are going to dive deep into the science of body fat, and this information will radically change how you view your own body. I urge you to stay with me until the very end, because I will explain a fundamental concept that almost no one talks about: your body's genetic comfortable weight and why your own biology may be fighting against your weight loss efforts every step of the way. Understanding this is the key to finally making peace with your body and achieving true health. So let's begin with the problem. I often see a very damaging, simplistic narrative being pushed, especially by well-meaning but novice fitness trainers. They criticize someone's appearance, and the advice is always the same: eat less, move more. It's a slogan that suggests weight is purely a matter of willpower. This is a dangerous oversimplification, and I'm here to correct that misunderstanding. Why does this matter so much? Because fat is not what you think it is. In most people's minds, a fat cell is like a tiny gas tank, a simple container for storing excess energy. This is fundamentally wrong. A fat cell is an incredibly complex biological machine. In fact, your body fat as a whole functions as a massive endocrine organ. Your fat tissue can release up to 50 different types of signaling molecules. 50. These molecules regulate everything from your anti-tumor immunity and your appetite to your glucose sensitivity and your cellular immune response. So, fat is not a passive storage depot. It is an active, influential part of your entire system. This is the first and most critical piece of knowledge you must internalize. Now, let's explore how it all works. To truly understand fat, we have to classify it in two different ways: by its location and by its very structure. First, let's talk about location. There are three primary types. You have subcutaneous fat, which is the layer directly under your skin, the fat you can pinch on your stomach. Then there is visceral fat. This is the fat that accumulates deep within your abdominal cavity, surrounding your internal organs. This is the cause of that firm, protruding belly you might see on some individuals. It's not soft. It's a sign of internal pressure. In my surgical experience, operating on patients with high visceral fat is incredibly challenging because there's simply no room to work. Everything, the intestines, the kidneys, is encased in these thick, fatty deposits. Finally, there's a third, more insidious type: ectopic fat. This is fat that appears in places it absolutely should not be, like inside your liver or weaving through your muscle fibers. This is a telltale sign of a metabolically unhealthy person. Next, let's classify fat by its function, which we can think of in terms of its color. First is white fat. This is the common storage fat we all know. It's inefficient. It has very few mitochondria, the tiny energy factories in our cells, and it does not help regulate your temperature. This is the fat that people typically find undesirable. Then there is brown fat. This is the good fat. It's rich in mitochondria, which is what gives it its darker color. Its main job isn't to store energy, but to burn it to create heat. This is why babies who have more brown fat are much more resilient to cold temperatures. In adults, it's found in smaller amounts, typically around major blood vessels and between the shoulder blades. And this brings us to the most exciting type: beige fat. You can think of beige fat as the bridge between the other two. It is white fat that, through healthy lifestyle changes like exercise, has begun to change its structure and function. It develops more mitochondria and becomes more metabolically active, more like brown fat. This transformation is a sign that a person is on the right path, metabolically speaking. And this is why you can't judge a book by its cover. I've seen many professional athletes, boxers for example, who can endure 12 rounds of intense physical activity, yet they don't look thin. They are incredibly fit and powerful, but their body type is naturally heavier. Their fat is functional, not just dormant. It's also a myth that you are born with a fixed number of fat cells. Under the right, or rather wrong, conditions, your body can create more. And these fat cells have a very long life, up to 10 years, with a very slow turnover rate of about 10% per year. This means some of the fat on your body today could literally be from a meal you ate a decade ago. When these cells become too large and inflamed, they release inflammatory signals throughout your body, contributing to joint pain, atherosclerosis, and hormonal dysfunction. So, what should you do with this knowledge? First, you must understand the concept I promised to explain: your genetic comfortable weight. Research has proven that your body has a set point, a weight that it considers normal and will defend vigorously. If you try to lose weight and drop too far below this set point, your body will fight back. It will increase your appetite and slow down your metabolism to force you back up. Conversely, if you gain too much weight, it will try to suppress your appetite and increase your energy expenditure. This set point is largely determined by your genetics, the environment you were in before you were even born, such as your mother's stress levels during pregnancy, and your nutrition in the first 3 to 5 years of life. For many people, this comfortable weight is the weight they naturally maintained around age 20 to 25. This is why you shouldn't judge yourself or others so harshly. The goal should not be to chase an arbitrary number on a scale or a physique that defies your biology. The goal is to be metabolically healthy. A person with a higher body weight who is active, strong, and has primarily functional beige fat is far healthier than a thin person who is sedentary and has unhealthy ectopic fat deposits. Your focus should be on building healthy habits that work with your body. This is true self-respect. It's not about accepting a condition that harms your health. It's about taking ownership and taking action. Use sport, nutrition, and healthy habits to improve your health from the inside out, rather than just chasing an external aesthetic. Instead of obsessing over the scale, which can be misleading, track your progress through measurements, how your clothes fit, and how you feel. Your energy, your strength, your vitality, these are the true indicators of health. Knowledge only works when you apply it. I'm Professor Vitalis. Stay curious, stay healthy, and never stop learning.